Hello, welcome to my review of the TSM versus FlyQuest game. I'm going to be reviewing this game mostly from the point of view of TSM because I don't know much about the internal workings of FlyQuest and I haven't watched enough of their games this season. Actually, they haven't even played enough for me to get a feel for their team philosophy. But I know most of the players on TSM and I've coached them, either on that team or on a different team. And so I wanted to review this game and talk about, communication and certain playmaking aspects of the game. And I'm also going to review it through this shadow.gg platform because it gives me an opportunity to show you how the first few plays of the game play out in terms of experience and gold differential. And I'm not going to be talking so much, I think, about FlyQuest's part, um, whether or not the things that they should have done were good or not. Although I'll comment on that, but I'm gonna reserve judgment on them until I see more games and see how they pan out in the experience. But I like there's some of the plays that I think are really kind of lucky on their part. So of course I'll mention those, and it's not because I'm necessarily a TSM fan. It's more that I think that if you're trying to play a perfect game, those kind of plays, are only going to work out when you have luck in your favor. But we'll get to those when we get there. Right now I have the game pulled up essentially to the starting point when the junglers have kicked off. We've already missed the blue buff take, and I really like Anda's response here to the Kazakh's pick and his early pathing. I don't know if you saw this. Actually, maybe I can go to the replay here. But one of the things that was really impressive from the beginning is that Kazakh's is just a really strong into Zach, in the early game, and especially because he can win a lot of duels and a lot of skirmishes 2v2 up until Zach is like even later in levels, maybe like level 9. And so the fact that that he's trying to secure both his buffs, you'll see here, Mike Young does in fact go for the crab and then to look to see if he's got his buffs cleared. And Zach did start at red, but then went for a clear in this direction. And I think that that's really I think it's an adaptation to the pick, and it made it really safe. So there couldn't be any like upsets or accidentals, things happening in the early game, which is, I guess, it's standard play. If you don't do that, you're pretty stupid. But at least they have showed that they know what they're doing. So there's not going to be any desktop audio here. I'm just going to make sure that we're just talking about the game itself. And I'm going to go at 2x speed right now. So the first phase of the game is essentially the first clear. And it's FlyQuest's job here to make sure that this clear goes off well because, Mike Young is going to win versus Zach whenever he finds him in the jungle. And you can see that Anda did a really good job here. He's even able to get bot scuttle, which is pretty sick. And he probably did that pretty safely because his bot lane has priority here to move up and to ward. And he knew that that they started blue buff because they came into lane late. So there were pings on the blue buff, and they knew that Kazakh's was at least going a bot to top clear. And so here, the junglers secure kind of their first set of stack of gold, and then they reset. And now here is a big decision point in the game. And TSM, I think, opts to play bot side. And I'm pretty partial toward this because I think that bot side play is obviously just straight up more statistically significant than top side play, since there's 2 people in the bot lane and 1 person in the top lane. It just matters more. Zach here is going in to get vision. And now I think this is the part when they see Kazakh's and then gank. No, here we go. All right, so Soren has priority in mid lane on the wave, and that allows Mike to basically, walk in and get. Let me back up and show you this. Okay, look at the mid lane. See, he's already cleared the wave, and now Azir's catching a turret, and Bjergsen can go into the side river bush here and disappear. So Mike Young knows that he's got vision on the mid laner, and that Bjergsen's got him tied up under tower and can move first essentially through this crack towards red buff, and that means that he can pretty easily support him if he needs. So this is a really good timing, really good invade, and allows him to put a lot of pressure on bot lane. So now he clears the plant here, and we see the bot lane is now scared. Like Taric and Kalista know that their jungler's there. And Kalista has a little guy, you know, running up and down this little spot now. And now Kha'Zix's coming in to steal the race. So this was in preparation for taking his bot side jungle and also applying pressure to the bot lane, basically saying like, I'm in here, and you know, you can't go aggressive on my bot lane, because if you do, I'll just run down and join the fray. All right, now Mike Young and Bjergsen team up, and he gets a reset, and so that concludes the play. So the bot side play is over, and now I'm going to pause for a second. Now the communication here was that Soren's going to reset, and Mike Young's going to go top side and take his camps and kind of maybe secure vision, a little bit of vision for Hanser. And Hanser's doing a really good thing here. He's doing the things where he just like takes the golems over and over again. Maybe if Mike Young had secured their golems, which I don't think he did. I don't think he went that aggressive into the bot side jungle. That would be an even better play. But anyway, I like when you have a lane like this that you can get chunked out if you're contesting the wave, and he's going to catch it at turret because he's Cho'Gath and you know, gain his life back. He's going to go and kill these golems in the meanwhile, just to prevent Anda from being able to farm them freely. But here is a really smart play from FlyQuest. Like, Mike Young's doing the right thing here, right? And Bjergsen is too, and he doesn't realize that like Zach can just engage on him from here, from so far away. Luckily, I don't think he's lost his. Well, maybe he has lost his race already from before, but we shall see. Yeah, so look at this. Like, he's taking out this vision to make sure that Soren's safe on this side, but he just dodged all around him. So that's pretty sick. I think he gets out of it okay, but he blows his flash. Anyway, that's just a good play on Zach's part, abusing his range and kind of sneaking in there. So now they give blue buff, and Zach secures red buff. And now, you know, the bot lane knows that he's there, so they can play a little safer, play with a little more safety, a little less worry that Kha'Zix might just jump on them. The threat is removed. Bot lane sent Tarek back. So he went back to pick up a tier and control ward. You notice they did this when Zach, I mean, probably they did it based on the gold spike, but it's a really good communication that Zach is farming his bot here, because that means that they can't abuse this. Like if Kha'Zix was here and he was alone on turret, maybe they'd do something about it. But right now, Mithy wants to make sure he matches Tarek's back, so he goes back as well. And Kog'Maw goes back with him and picks up, you know, two elements and a stopwatch, looks like. Mithy also gets a stopwatch. So that's a pretty good buy. They have double stopwatch on bot. Alright, so the junglers are farming now their respective jungles. Not much is happening. There's a bit of vision on the top side for FlyQuest, and there's still deep vision on the bot side, which caught Zach doing his clear, so everybody could play accordingly on TSM side of the map. I should go back to 2x speed, sorry. The most significant part of this game is going to come when Kog'Maw hits one item. So right now they go back and Mithy is able to just walk in. I don't know if you saw that, but he just like, they caught the wave first because they had the back on Kalista. So Kalista had to back after Kog'Maw. And then so they were able to get the wave and go into the river. And Mithy was just freely able to just straight up walk in on the Tarek, face check him with no danger. Okay, so Mithy secured a little bit of the mid, goes back bot. They have this ward in the river. I really like this if you're able to keep the wave pushed and keep them off that ward, because if they don't have view of the opposing jungler, it can be really oppressive. But as you can see here, they're contesting that and winning, so they're able to clear that river bush ward, which I don't like. Maybe there was a way that they could finagle that they wouldn't lose that 2v2. All right. So Kha'Zix, I think, still wins the 1v1 against Zach here, so he should be playing, you know, into the river, making sure that he's contesting any attempt of Zach to get into his jungle and into the river. Now Kalista gets a little bit of priority here. Tarek goes back. Mithi thinks that Tarek went back, so he started backing, and then he stops and stays for the wave. I think now they realize Tarek is backed, and probably they're calling mid. Okay, so there was a ping right there. I just saw a ping. Pause. Gonna go 1x speed. And maybe back up 30 seconds. Yeah, so he should be calling Tarek going mid here now because this is but look, Soren's already cleared the wave and he's gonna back, although I think he's gonna stay for this wave. He should at least. They see Kazakhs on this ward, so then they know he's there. Okay, so Soren's actually waiting at the tower. I guess maybe he is respecting the fact that Tarek could be mid right now. So I'm guessing that, you know, this is communicated by bot lane that the Tarek could be mid. So he successfully clears the next wave and backs. Maybe? Come on, Soren, back. Get your item. Yeah, Azir's playing way up. So he's basically telegraphing that, you know, their support can be mid and their jungler and my jungler can be mid right now. All right, so Mithi finally gets back to lane with his purchase to match the Tarek, and he comes in here and he starts to clear out the ward. He comes and scans this area. They already scanned the jungle. I guess that was Mike Young's scanner. Why did they have 2 scanners? That's pretty cool. Yep. And then he rejoins Kog'Maw bot. Now Kog'Maw, this is unfortunate by the way. Kog'Maw has hit his 1-item spike, right? He's hit his Rage Blade. So now essentially they want to take bot turret. This is when he can just like shred through that turret, no problem. And so if Mike Young can get to the bot side and pressure there, we'll go ahead and drop a delta here. This is the play, all right. Basically, Mike Young wants to help make sure that they have mid priority, and then he wants to go into this bot side jungle and make sure that they can apply maximum pressure to Kalista and Tarek at the turret and shred through the turret. And then after that, they can either reset and go topside and do the same thing, or they can take Dragon, or they can do all sorts of other map plays. So right now, he's going to go and he's throwing a ward here because he thinks that he might be doing Rift Herald. Unfortunately, he is already, so this is really smart on FlyQuest's part. They're taking advantage of the fact that their Tarek got out first onto the map, that he reset first, and Mithi kind of canceled his reset to stay in the lane there. They had all of this mid control. Even though Azir backed later, right? So Soren backed first and he's back to mid, but he didn't have any support. You know, Mithi wasn't there at the same time that he was getting priority, and Mike Young was farming camps. And so Azir had kind of met up with Tarek and I'm going to go ahead and write this. Azir had kind of met up with Tarek and Zach here, and they really had confidence that they had this whole area covered. And so it was pretty easy and unrisky for Zach to just attempt this, especially because he can just straight up ult and get away, or even Q and get away. Q or E, I don't remember which one is the Zach bungee jump, but anyway. So let's go ahead and see like how TSM do, and I already know that they do well on this because I've already watched it, but I want to show you how well they do with this play. Attempting to get bot control. So here, Soren has a roam timer. Look at what he's doing right now. He's already cleared the wave. Azir's on his way back, so he has to catch a turret. So Soren goes ahead and goes and checks. He farms a little bit of the race. He finds this pink ward in the right line bush and clears it out. Now look, Kog'Maw already has them shoved into turret. They had a wave stacking because Kalista backed after Kog'Maw, so Zan was able to just like, you know, stack the wave a bit. Cool. Not bad. All right, so now they have a new wave, and they want cover on this wave. Look where Mike Young is. Bam. He went in the bottom. First, Soren got control of the mid wave, so he went first. Now he's coming in and poking out, and Mike Young is already in the jungle. You know, he's already got vision here. It kind of sucks that he loses the red buff, but look what Mike Young does after Anda smites the red away, okay? He literally kind of goes in on him. He doesn't, like, use his jump, so he's not that aggressive, but he goes ahead and like fights him right there. So he knows that he's got priority from Mithi and priority from Soren, from Bjergsen, and that he's really safe in this aggressive position. This shows that basically the bot lane and the mid lane has more or less conceded that they're going to have, they can't join the Zach there and fight this Kha'Zix. Okay, so they get the wave back in. They give off blue buff. What is Mike Young going to do now? So he already put a bunch of, look at all the vision down here. So basically, all right. This says to me that Kog'Maw and that Sven and Mithy have communicated that they can shove the wave in and hit turret. And Kalista and Tarek can't do anything about it. So all they need is vision. They don't need Mike Young sitting in the bot jungle and like humping turret with them and ready to like basically dive. They said we can hit turret now. We have cover vision so that Zach can't interfere with us, and if he can, and if you have priority mid, then you can always disappear into the bottom line bush, Bjergsen, and so we can pressure with your ult. So we can always pressure bot now until we get the turret, and we'll just chip it down until it's gone. And so Mike Young is free to go topside. It's really important in these plays like this where they're like, okay, jungler, you can leave because now we have vision. The jungler isn't seen. So I would say like Mike Young's job here is to make sure that he farms his camps really fast and that he is not walking in on dot bush or somewhere. That if he's going to contest crab here, that he like comes over with the blasting cone or he comes through top try or something where he's close to ganking somebody and where he's close to making a play. Don't just like walk in here and show on dot bush. This is like for you solo queue junglers. Don't just walk like abandon, like set up vision bot, go topside, walk straight into right dot and ward there, and then clear your camps. Like clear your camps first, so you don't give away where you are and that you've abandoned the bot, even though the bot is pressuring. So anyway, I think this is going well for them. Looks like Kalista and Tarek are backing. Or Tarek's backing, yeah, because he got chunked to 1 HP. Soren has complete control over the mid wave. He's cleared it first the last 2 or 3 times. Now he's clearing it again. And they just took bot turret straight up in their face, just the vision coverage. So now Nara is kind of looking for Mike Young and not finding him. He found the camps were taken, but he doesn't know if Hanser did it or not, I don't think. Zach is in the jungle. He's pretty safe now because he can ulti out and he can slingshot out. So he can clear that wave, even though they don't see... Maybe they did actually have a ward there and saw that Mike Young walked backwards. But anyway, now Mike is going to the bot side again. All right, so that play was a massive swing in TSM's favor. If you look at the differential here from the start of that item purchase until when Mithy and Sven backed after killing the turret, there's a 1300 gold swing and a basically just 114 XP. Pretty good like mini differential, but this is the gold swing is mostly the turret. So this is a good play done correctly with pressure, and it's what they should be doing because I think that they drafted like specifically for the ability to do this. Now, Mithy and Sven reset, and they had 2 choices here. They could either go topside and do the same exact thing topside, or they could play to dragon. And it looks like they already had vision set up for dragon, more or less. They pushed, maybe they abandoned bot wave 1 wave too early. I think maybe they could have cleared 1 more wave, but I'm not really sure. I'd have to go back and look at it. But anyway, they're going to get back to bot turret when this wave here, that you can't see because this YouTube emblem, is going to crash onto the turret here. And they have, and they're coordinated on this play, right? Soren is he's already in mid. Mike Young is already based, and he's back now, walking basically with Mithy together into the dragon area. So this is a really good timing and coordination on this dragon, and they're going here, and they have full priority to take it and to contest it. The only thing right now is that it's going to be Mike Young and Mithy going alone to the river, and Sven is going to want to catch the minions. So they need to, if they go aggressive, they either need to say, Sven, abandon your minions, or Sven, farm your minions where you're fine, we can win the 2v whatever. Or they need to make sure that like, okay, it's 2v, let's say it's 2v3, we're not going to engage with whoever we find in the river until you're done catching the wave, Sven. So this is kind of like, this is important moment of communication. So I want you to see how they handle it. Okay, Tarek is going in. This is a little bit too aggressive on FlyQuest part because Kalista is still in the lane and Zach is not with him necessarily. Well, also they're against Tom Kench, so maybe they just like You know, they don't have a bot turret here, and they're against a Tahm Kench, so they're not thinking, oh, Tahm Kench can just go straight behind us, you know. But whenever you miss a turret and the top laner can teleport like that, gotta be careful how aggressive you go. Which, by the way, TSM does later pretty well. They have teleport disadvantage, and they don't overextend on a missing turret lane. I'll show you that in a sec. Mithy here is just literally saying, get out of my... These are our minions now. Please don't farm this jungle. Please go topside. Looks like Azir is going topside too, and Mithy is going to mid lane so that they can shift to top if they need to defend. But I think now, yep, so Mithy's going to look for Azir. Now they see Azir again, so he's just walking into topside to clear that vision. I guess that they've already decided they secured the jungle because they forced Zach out, and Mike Young said he could solo it, and so now they're switching. Let me back up 1 second. So if you noticed, they secured the dragon, basically. I'm going to now go to this part. I have my timer written here. Okay, so yeah, at 15:30, let's see, this is 15:48, 15:24, there we go. So at 15:30, they reset for the topside play. So here we are at 15:20, and basically Mithy just chased Zach off of Wraiths and saw Zach jump away. Now Zach has no reason to be in the bot side jungle. They have deep vision, and they know that Taric is based, and they know that Azir went topside. So the dragon is theirs. So now they're like, okay, next play. Like, look, Sven is already reset and going topside, and Hanser should be going bot side now. Oh, look, he already reset too. And this is their next play. So the dragon play is over. It was successful. And now they already have tempo on the topside play. Watch where Kalista and Taric go. I think that they go bot lane. Like, they should really go mid here because they don't know where Kog'Maw's going. So Kalista and Taric should go, if they want to match, they should go mid, and they should wait and see if Kog'Maw goes top or bottom or mid, and then they should match them. But I think that they go bot here, and so Kog'Maw has a chance now to take top turret the same way he took bot turret. So I wanna see what happens, basically, because I think there's a mistake on TSM's part for how this play goes down. Where is Kalista? I don't see her anywhere. Oh, she just reset. Okay. Tark's going mid because Tark should go mid to meet up with Zach and Azir. Try to get mid vision. But Kalista goes bot. So here, yeah, I don't know. They should already be calling that Kog'Maw's missing and that he could be going top. And here now they're pinging it, right? And Kalista's like, oh shoot, okay, I'll go top. Look, now she changed her trajectory here. I don't know if you caught that, but like she was here, and then they pinged Kog'Maw top, and then she's changed her trajectory. But that should have already been communicated. So super telegraphed play, very basic League of Legends. They saw Kog'Maw didn't catch the next wave. Not promising for FlyQuest's like knowledge of the game here in terms of rotations. Anyway, pause. What did we miss in the replay? What we missed in the replay was, well, now you can't see the YouTube sign, that because Hanser had tempo on bottom, he already cleared bottom, and then he disappeared toward mid. So he gave some of his pressure bot towards mid by basically clearing the bottom wave and then walked toward mid, and Nar was still in base, kind of running out. And I believe that Kog'Maw and Taric pushed the wave, and then, or Kog'Maw and Tahm Kench, and then Taric and Kalista just straight up contested them and dropped the Rift Herald there. So I don't know what happened there, but I feel like if the timing was right, if Hanser had shifted to mid and Bjergsen had shifted to top and Kha'Zix had been there, they could have contested this Rift Herald drop, and they should have been able to secure enough power in the upper river here that this play from FlyQuest should not have been possible. I don't know. That's my inkling. I don't know why they weren't able to dismantle it. But now they have a problem because... So they lose the top tower, and now they have a big problem because Hanser already used his teleport for the bot play, for that dragon play. Now there's a teleport disadvantage and no top tower. This is a ripe opportunity for the game to be destroyed in favor of FlyQuest, because we're in this like this area of 15 minutes to 20 minutes where there's no Baron yet. There's just towers, but you are really exposed when you're like in Kog'Maw and Tahm Kench's position. Like they want to push into their tower and they want to contest that tower. But it's a 4 versus 5 topside because Gnar can TP in any time. And Zach has already passed the early game, right? He's 1 level from 11, which is now he's starting to get enough defensive items to actually, do something in a fight without instant dying. And so I would say that this is like basically the play is scrapped now because they messed up somehow and they let Rift Herald get down, and I don't know what happened because the replay was showing thanks Riot casters. But anyway, something went wrong there, and now they need to do something else. They can either just farm safely and wait. I don't know, what is it going to be, 3 minutes till teleport is up, or they can switch back to their secure bot turret and farm there, or they can go to mid. I would say like putting Tahm Kench and Kog'Maw in mid right now, putting Soren bot and putting Hauntzer top is probably the best option actually. I think that they could, I don't know if Azir could clear in their faces, but I still think having Tahm Kench mid is probably the most OP use of that champion. So I would like to see Tahm Kench mid running around and wreaking havoc with Kha'Zix. I think that Tahm Kench and Kog'Maw could clear the wave in front of Azir's face and make him clear a turret, or at least give priority to them, and then they could, mess around with the jungle with Kha'Zix as a 3v2. But they don't. So they send Kog'Maw back to bot turret. Tahm Kench goes mid to meet up with Soren. Maybe they're just going to go Soren or Bjergsen and Mithy mid, and Kog'Maw solo bot. Fine. Maybe that's a good solution to that. Here we go. Tahm Kench is just kind of walking in. He went with Bjergsen right there, and he had Mike Young in the river. So that was all pretty safe. Kog'Maw cleared the wave and is walking kind of a risky route to join them. Didn't go through the river side. Don't think he had vision on golems or anything. All right, so I'm going to put a delta here. This is a mid lane play. They swapped back to bot. When did they swap back to bot, guys? 1700. They swapped back to bot at 1700. They had tempo on the swap. You notice how they initiated it? Like they went back before Kalista and Taric did, and then they were essentially able to catch the wave before. And Gnar even here did this stupid thing where he sat in the bush and delayed his back. So now Hauntzer also has priority. So not only are Kalista and Taric 1 wave late to getting to bot lane, so that Kog'Maw has this roam to go mid, but also Hauntzer was able to get to top first, and he's able to push the next wave before Gnar, and then he can either chunk the turret or he can also walk toward mid. So this is an outnumbered play. The only problem is that Gnar can teleport into it, but Hauntzer should kind of, because Gnar messed up and stayed bot, he should have the freedom here to walk mid. So I believe that they should be able to get some chunk on this turret if they hit their skill shots. All right, but they give up. Oh, they see Kalista and Taric on their wards. So they go back to catch the next bot wave and come back mid again. So this was just a ward pass, I guess. They went to clear wards, but I think they missed the pink ward in the bot river bush. And they dropped some wards and cleared whatever they could. Now they clear another wave. Kalista's sitting at turret and waiting. Notice how scared Kalista is right now, and Taric is taking the safe path. So basically they're saying TSM has full control of this. Look, Kog'Maw's getting the next wave in her face, going to push in those 3 minions, then he's going to be able to go mid again. Tahm Kench is now resetting for wards and going topside because teleport is going to be up, so they're going to rotate back to their original position, I guess. I would assume that's what's happening here. I don't see where Hauntzer is. Oh, he's topside still. Okay, yeah, Kog'Maw's going back bot, Tahm Kench is going top, so I guess they're trying to gank the teleport. Oh, okay. Yeah. Tahm Kench had a window, and I guess instead of trading the pressure to mid and trying to chunk the turret, he decided to go try to make a gank top onto the teleport disadvantage. So that if they kill the Gnar, then they don't have teleport disadvantage anymore, and they can just do whatever they want. Kog'Maw's alone, but he still farms the wave. It feels like Kog'Maw still has a power spike right now, and he does a lot of damage to turrets. I would have liked to see them pressure the mid turret really hard with these 2 or 3 roams from bot where they had wave priority over and over again. They could have taken the short path. So basically, to reduce the size of this, they had deep vision here and here, and so they could have basically taken the short path to mid over and over again, like 3 waves in a row, and kind of like secured this ledge right here against the edge of race. And then it's really hard to farm at turret if you're Azir. I mean, okay, if you're Azir, actually, it's easy to farm a turret, but you can't necessarily stop Kog'Maw from hitting turret if they have vision of the Zac. As long as they have vision of Zac, Kog'Maw can walk up and hit the turret, and he has flash still and everything. So I feel like that might have been a better use, good use of their time. But there's a risky play to gank Gnar. If it works out, it works great. Otherwise, in this case, it doesn't pan out for anything. But anyway, now teleports are cool, so they can redistribute the lanes however they like. Looks like Kog'Maw's going bot to shove another wave. Oh, maybe they're going for Drake, actually. Okay. Okay, so yeah, they see Drake is up in 130. So they want to put Kog'Maw bot lane, Hauntzer top lane. They have teleport, so now it's all fine. They can make the Drake play. There's a couple things that need to happen here. First, they need to get priority mid lane with Mithy and Mike Young, and they need to walk into... Where's my drawing mouse? There it is. They need to get priority mid lane here. So actually, this is what Mithy is doing right now. Notice there. And they need to join up with Mike Young and walk into here and get shallow vision and then secure bot wave deep and then maybe get deep vision. I don't know if you necessarily need deep vision for a Drake. Be a nice bonus, but whatever. They can get shallow vision at the least. And they seem to be doing that right now. The other thing that they need to do, because it's 20 minutes and they have a tank on the opposing team, so there is a Zac, is they need to ward Baron. They just drop a ward on Baron. You have to have a ward on Baron after 20 minutes if you're going to be making a coordinated 5-man bot play or 4-man bot play. So this is Hanser's job, I feel like. I think that Hanser should save a trinket and make sure that he wards Baron, because otherwise Bjergsen has to go ward Baron. Not optimal. And at the very worst, Mithy has to go ward Baron, which is actually what happens. And then it's disaster. So phase 1 of the play, Hanser's backing for item purchase to make sure that he's ready for this fight if he needs to teleport into it. He cancels his back. Actually, he's not backing. I guess he's just pretending to back and seeing where the Gnar is. Okay, he cancels his back. Gnar cancels his back. Maybe they just don't know where the opposing junglers are and they're just trying to make sure that they don't get ganked. Anyway, Mithy's going to ward Baron now, looks like, and Mike Young should be already in the river. Okay. This is the part that is not great from TSM. So the dragon spawns in 45 seconds. So obviously they want to be setting up, and they drafted a composition that it's very important that the fight comes into them. They're not going to be engaging in on an Azir, Zac, Kalista, Taric, okay? What they want is they want to be sitting on their vision, and they want their opponents to engage into them, and they want to kite together backwards and trade HP on their tanks for damage through the Kog'Maw and the Xerath. I think that both Xerath and Azir have pretty good damage over time, so it's not going to be like a burst damage mage versus a burst damage mage, or versus a DPS mage. Here we have 2 DPS mages, which is great, but basically you don't want to like engage into a hopping Kalista that can use Taric and has all of his comp around him, especially the Azir wall. You want them to be coming into you if you were this composition, and so that means they need to be the first one to objectives. They need to be sitting in the river on top of their own pinks when this dragon is going to happen. So right now, we're going to see that Kog'Maw is literally the only one holding this choke. And as soon as they see Mithy and Mike Young topside, they're just going to walk straight into the river and undo all of the vision that was just taken by TSM. So it feels to me like maybe Hanser could have warded Baron, and they could have just applied pressure here to topside. So they see that Mithy has warded the Baron. I don't know if they saw Mike Young there or not, but anyway, they just walk straight in. Look, this is our pink ward now. This is our bush now. Like, even though he's actually casting spells at the Tark, Tark's not even scared, and they're just fronting it here. They already have a ward and dot. Now they know that this comp that TSM has can't engage into them, so if they just stand on their pink wards with their Callista, they're fine. And Azir is right here in mid lane. So TSM now, in order to get this back, they need to essentially go. They need to make sure they can win the mid wave. So they have to have enough people on the mid wave to make sure that they can push it. Then they need to essentially walk through this choke and get into the river. So Mike Young, luckily, is a Kha'Zix, so he can just straight up. By the way, I like this particular draft from TSM because of, like, they have a really high magic damage AD carry, and so they were like, okay, we need an AD jungler, like high attack damage jungler. They already have a tank in top lane. They've already committed to the no engage thing, where they're just going to use map mobility and the three, like the Tom Kench to catch people out. And so this is a style of play where they need to be first to the objective. They need to stay on top of tempo. They can use Tom Kench to stay on top of tempo, and they need to be able to get to the objective first and then sit there and take it while the other team kind of comes into them and engages into them. So anyway, Mike Young has the tool here to scout this out, so he's going to use his ulti to essentially get into the river. Which, okay, now they see them on the mid wave, so they immediately engage. Here you see Bjergsen is clearing the mid wave, and these three have now taken the river, and so FlyQuest says, hey, they're split, engage, except that Bjergsen here moves super fast, and look, he's already, just like by the time they even engage, he's already abandoned the mid wave. So that's, yeah, he didn't even take it doesn't look like he took the melee minions. It looks like FlyQuest cleared the melee minions, and then they immediately engaged when they saw Bjergsen there and three other TSM members here. Bjergsen abandoned the mid wave, and he's already here in the fight. So this is really good habit. I've noticed some other mid laners, and sometimes even Bjergsen, a year ago, would be like, okay, just don't fight them, let me clear the midway first, let's get midway priority. But like the fight, like they initiated the fight, so he moves immediately. Great. No bad habit here. And they pull in Mithy. That's great. That's perfect because he can stopwatch, and then he can use Grey Health. Okay, Hanser TPs into the fight. Gnar TPs into the fight. Okay, this is the problem right here. So basically, this TSM comp wants to trade HP on these two champions to have damage being dealt by these champions. And you want to use the Kha'Zix spread, which, by the way, Kha'Zix's W is insane. It provides something like 80 or 90% slow. It basically freezes people in place. So it's really good for these kinds of, like, come into us team comps where you have these people who are trying to maneuver around, and they're trying to trade damage on their tanks, on their Zac, and their Gnar, who are trying to go in. Gnar is going to want to like do the double hop in at full Gnar and like do the Gnar combo, blah, blah, blah. And Zac's going to want to jump in, and ulti out, and they need to go in, and then the DPS needs to catch up to them and like kite backwards, right? It needs to kind of keep up with them as they're going in. Kha'Zix is great for slowing that down and just making it a real mess for people to deal with. But in this case, their DPS essentially kited upwards. Sorry, their tanks, TSM's tanks kited upward into this choke, and their DPS kited this way. So I'm not really in favor of teamfight communication. I think that teamfight communication should be visual. The brain is not fast enough to process auditory commands and be like, okay, now that you say I'm going to be doing this thing, I should think about we should do play alpha BA2A3 where we split in these directions. Like you're processing everything visually, and you should just know kind of pre-programmed through training, through scrims, how your team comp fights and how you want to be positioned on the map. At most, you should be shouting directions like right, up, like that, or target selection, so that everything can be unified. Or you should be counting cooldowns of key abilities, such as the Kog'Maw attack speed. You should only fight when he has the ability to turn on his attack speed, essentially. So he should be counting like, okay, fight in 5, kite, fight in 3, fight in 2, fight in 1, something like that. So this is just bad play, I think. They're trading. Look, these people are taking damage. and these people are not taking damage. So bad positioning, bad kiting, bad direction, whatever you want to call it. When you're trading HP on your tanks for no HP on your squad, then you're doing something wrong. And basically it looks like they should have just kited together. I don't want to say down the river because that gives up mid lane priority. I think that, personally, I think Mithy, went the right direction, and I think Bjergsen and Kog'Maw should have gone with him. I know Kog'Maw really wants to be in the river, and I shouldn't think they should have had a flanker. I think they should have had Kha'Zix on the flank side. So I would like to see, for example, Kog'Maw up in this bundle. Like, I'd like to see Kog'Maw go with Tahm Kench and be like right here. And I'd like to see Bjergsen also have gone this direction and be right here, because then they can always retreat around to the mid lane turret if they need to. I think the whole team kiting this way is a bad idea. But I think Kha'Zix, maybe Mike Young baited Kog'Maw into going that direction, because I think Kha'Zix should be over here and he should be spamming the backline with these freaking W's of hell, because once the tanks go in and the DPS is moving at like 90% slow, frozen in place, it's a slaughter. So I would like to see Kog'Maw able to kite in and out of this area and able to go every direction and be eaten by Mithy and spit over a wall or something like that. He has flash too, so he could flash a wall here. But I think that there was some miscommunication, like, we're going to hold river, like hold the river. So he stayed in the river, and Bjergsen, I don't know if Bjergsen actually came around or if he came around this way. But anyway, I would like to see them have kited together in this direction. I don't think there's a big wombo combo danger here. Like, it's not going to be like Orianna ulti. Maybe a Gnar ulti in this choke, so they need to make sure that, Hauntzer stays kind of more down, and Mithy stays, kind of like right next to the Kog'Maw, and the Kog'Maw tries to get to the bush before he starts fighting, that kind of stuff. But anyway. Oh, let me cancel that. Okay, I'm going to back up 30 seconds so we can rewatch this and you can see how it happened. All right, they're going to see them split. They're going to immediately engage as soon as they see Bjergsen here. Okay, Bjergsen walks up. They're like, oh, they're split. Engage. Okay. So, yeah, Kog'Maw. So Kog'Maw is trying to be safe, right? But now he should kite up. Kog'Maw, kite up. This is where he should kite up. Yep, and Bjergsen. So, yeah, Bjergsen and Kog'Maw go together behind this wall. So, at this point, Hauntzer and Mithy need to, like, be not taking any damage for a couple seconds. But then they are taking damage. And Kog'Maw, like, can't get in there. Like, he's getting a couple auto attacks here. Sven got, like, he got a couple auto attacks, but he could have auto attacked so much more if he was safe. If he was able to actually be behind his tanks and not in front. So he was playing that really carefully, and he even had his flash, but he was still playing it carefully. So he missed like 2 or 3 auto attacks, and I think that basically made the fight. I mean, look at these people are like a couple auto attacks. Okay, well, now they're really healed up because Tarek is freaking OP as heck, but whatever. Okay, so they get the Infernal. Now, this is really good from TSM. I want to show you this part. They get the Infernal. TSM's already resetting for the next play with tempo. So basically, if FlyQuest had taken that fight and immediately reset and gone back onto the map, they would be able to prevent what TSM is doing next. But they didn't. They traded time for the dragon. They traded all the death chamber on Hauntzer for the dragon, essentially, and the reset, the recall, and the wave clear from each of these people for dragon. So they took dragon, and now Mithy and Sven are already headed back onto the map. They already have tempo. Bjergsen didn't reset. Mike Young reset late. So maybe that's a bad habit that Mithy will teach them to fix. Good luck. But anyway, Mike Young should already have been back in base, and he should be coming back out on the map right now for the next play, because essentially the next play, they should be trading for this dragon that FlyQuest just took. They should be able to get this top turret right now with this tempo. They should be able to secure top river vision, which they want to secure, by the way, because they have the kind of comp where they need to hold the vision to walk into it. They have TP advantage, super good, so they can rush out, get top river vision in exchange for this dragon that they just lost, and then they can secure top turret with their TP advantage that they have from Hauntzer in the bot lane. So that's what should happen. So and I love the tempo reset here. I think Mike Young should have reset faster. I don't know what he was doing. Taking Wraiths or something, like as if Wraiths for Baron is a good trade. Okay, here's the fight again. okay, now is when they should be thinking kite up, kite up. They want Kazakhs on the side, or Hanser should be kiting down. I mean, at the very least, the tanks should go with the DPS here, but I don't think they want to give up mid control. Like if they give up mid control, then FlyQuest can just literally walk into mid lane and take the turret, and TSM can't do anything about it. So you kind of need to be positioned there. But anyway, okay, let's look where we got. All right, so Kog'Maw already pushed the whole wave up. He has tempo. He's walking into the river right now with Mithy. Mike Young should already have cleared these, but he reset late, so he hasn't. Bjergsen is already back out on the map. Cool. Azir is matching him. I guess if Bjergsen had reset instead of clearing the wave, maybe he would be out. But who knows? Maybe he needed an item spike. So Mike Young should be walking to the river right now. Bjergsen should have already cleared this wave, and they should be taking these 3 wards and dropping their own. And then they have, look, Gnar is not even to the bot lane yet. Like, this is how much tempo they have. Is Hanser's, he was dead, and he's already clearing the wave, and Gnar's not even there yet. So this is sick, because he doesn't even need to TP into this fight. He can literally just walk to the mid wave now and shift, and Bjergsen can walk into the river when Hanser gets to the mid wave. So this is really powerful map position for TSM. It would be better if Mike Young was not doing golems right now. But if he was like here and they were boarding on the blue, like if they were here, if they'd already had these wards and they were contesting this kind of walk and this look from Kalista, if they were able to fight them right here for this ward. All right, so this is the problem. Hanser makes the shift play. He's got the priority on bot wave, so bot wave is crashing right here. Gnar is missing it. I want you to see, actually, I can show you here this catch that they lose out on this play. What game timing are we at? 22:10. 22:01 to wherever Hanser dies here. 24:17. Yeah, 24. Let's go with 24 minutes. All right. So I've got a delta starting at 22 minutes, which is when they lose that fight. 2016, let me start it there. They lose that fight until Hanser dies. So TSM's wave management here is really good. Look, they get a 600 gold swing and a 250 XP swing because of minions. Like, Gnar is literally giving up the bot wave for this. This is actually really good if Hanser doesn't die here and doesn't get caught. If he shows and Gnar tries to go in on him and he like walks over here and flashes out. He doesn't have flash though, so this is probably dangerous. He shouldn't have contested this ward. But anyway, this is actually quite good. And especially because, look, now Taric and Kalista have already abandoned the top wave. Now Kog'Maw gets that for free again. Anytime your opponents condense, you want to spread out. Anytime your opponents spread out, you have an opportunity to condense if you're ahead on the tempo. TSM are ahead on the tempo, so they should abuse this fact. Their opponents were spread out, so Kog'Maw went into river, Hanser went to mid. Now their opponents are condensing. Hanser needs to survive this engage, not get caught, go back to side lane. His other side lane is already gone north. Mithy. So if he doesn't die here, this is a good play. Unfortunately, he does. But Gnar gives up. Okay, it's a 1-for-1. Freaking sick. All right, so it's not even like horrible here because Gnar is giving up. Gnar is giving up the turret, or Gnar is giving up this wave and this XP bot. So now he's going to try to go catch it. See if he actually makes it in time. I think he's going to. Yeah, it's stacking. So I guess Hanser did not push the wave well enough. I guess he just assumed Gnar would catch it instead of grouping mid. He probably should have waited until he saw Gnar somewhere or pushed the wave one more rotation. Or communicated like... I mean, I personally think Hanser was just doing a half rotation. Like he was just going to come up, check for wards, and go back bot once he saw Gnar, and then he was going to go deeper. But then he got caught, so... Anyway, they tried to go on Bjergsen mid. Mithy saved him. Now they've lost tempo top. So now Kog'Maw has to go back topside, push the wave. Kalista's getting in a reset. Kazakhs is really frontally positioned here, but he's got Mithy with him, but there's not a lot of pressure on the map, so I don't know, it's kind of freaky. I feel like they could have had a playmate against them there. They know that Gnar doesn't have TP, so at least they're safe on that. Alright, Hanser's back bot. He's going to push out this wave. They need to wait for him 30 seconds. to push this wave in the next one so that he can TP again. Meanwhile, Gnar is going mid. Look at how back TSM's positioning right now. So they know that they have a 30-second timer where they need to kick things off for Baron before they can go in and get like strong Baron pressure, because they want Hanser to be able to TP without losing XP and CS. So they cleared this wave here, and then instead of going onto the turret because they don't have pressure, they went back to get red, and they entered mid again from the they did not enter mid from this top side here because it's too dangerous now, because they don't have tempo on the map, as you can see from the all vision. Like, they know that they don't have tempo on the map because they feel that they don't have tempo. But if you look at it, they actually don't, right? Because Tarek and Zach are literally in the river because they haven't had anything to do. So Mithy and Sven are playing this really well. They're coming in. They want to enter with Mike Young on the ramp side. And I guess Mike Young is over here just making sure that he gets his camps, or that... Anyway, I think Mike Young should be here, walking in with Mithy and Sven as soon as they finish that red. I don't know if he should have already cleared his camps or what, but this is the part where you're like, we're going to teach our jungler good strategy over the years, you know? Clearly not like trick and... Oh, yeah, so then Mithy gets caught. Clearly not tricks and Scarin level strategic play coming out of Mike Young here. But anyway, Mithy and Sven should have noticed that our jungler is in the wrong spot, and they shouldn't have walked. Probably they shouldn't have walked around the crown here. But to be perfectly honest, Zach and Azir's engage range is pretty absurd. So they're going to get this catch maybe once a game or so, and there's nothing you can do about it, because you just are like, oh yeah, that's right, half a screen away, and they can like not only engage on me but push me backwards. All right, so... But anyway, there was nothing for them to do there. They didn't have their jungler because Mike Young was on the wrong side of the map, and so even if they walk in, they couldn't do a full sweep, they couldn't fight, they couldn't push wards. There was nothing for them to do except check to see if Baron wasn't dying, but they already had a ward on it. So now Baron gets taken. Hanser doesn't have flash. He probably should have just walked straight in there and tried to steal it. I think both Hanser and Mike Young need to try to steal the Baron more in this game. Unfortunate they didn't make use of the ultis and the smites to try to get the steals. You want to think that Kalista and Anda and Zach are going to both smite at the same time. So you have the 1k from Kalista, and you have the whatever 750 from Anda, and they're both going to try to aim at the same time, like around 980 or whatever. So I don't really know what Kalista's damage is at this moment. Let's see if we can see the smite. All right, yeah, it went down. It got smited above 1k. So it was definitely a three-way smite fight between Kalista, Mike Young, and Anda. And I think that if Hanser had been there, he might have been able to win it, but he wasn't there in the pit. All right, so now TSM comes out on the map. They still have some advantage here in terms of tempo, and they really want to push into the mid wave and make sure that they can try to get bot wave pushed and get to this top turret. So they're going to set up for Dragon because they want this Cloud Drake, I guess. But then in that case, Hanser should be topside if they're really going to do this Dragon. Okay, Hanser's resetting. Now he shouldn't be resetting. Now he should be... Okay, he got the memo. They were like, okay, we're going to do top turret. But look at this. Now they're just kind of like... I feel like TSM's a little bit in a panic, and they're just walking around like a bubble. Like, I understand the Kog'Maw going mid to take the turret, but they probably should have said Bjergsen topside and Hanser bot side. They were probably thinking that, there were more Barons on the map and it was a little scarier or something like that, but really they only got, like 3 Barons. And they still aren't going to be able to lane super hard into TSM, so they still need to make a play. So I think TSM here wants to come out and send Bjergsen top, Kog'Maw mid to take the turret down on tempo, and Hanser bot to start getting tempo with his teleport. So now, Hanser needs to push, Kog'Maw needs to take mid turret and rotate into river, and Bjergsen needs to be clearing the wave and rotating into the top river. But anyway, we've arrived at this position regardless. And they just need to make sure that they're not spending time securing vision in this river, because it's not really that necessary. They need a few deep wards to catch the transitions, and then they need to see if they can maintain lane pressure. They need to see if they can maintain lane pressure mid and top to get the push in order to and they want Tom Kench mid lane, by the way, with Kha'Zix in the Kog'Maw, I think. And if they can maintain pressure and get the push, then they can take out turret. And if they can't, it's like a test. If they can't, then they set up for Dragon, or they set up for something else, or they just try to trade objectives. They see where the Baron push is coming, and they see, oh, it's probably coming for this bot tower. That's the most logical place for them to push with the Baron. So therefore, we send 3 people to the top side, and then we try to take the turret and catch here. Okay, so they should first test to see if they can get pressure, and if they can, cool, they can keep FlyQuest bottled up here and actually take this top turret, and if they can't, then they trade. Great. But the thing they need to make sure not to do is spend too much time securing vision here because there's no objective. They need a few wards to catch transitions, maybe 1 ward here. They don't even need to be invisible. They don't need to sweep for enemy vision all that much because they have Tom Kench. They can just go on people. And then they need Hanser to be able to just like kind of clear here whenever he doesn't see Gnar and be ready to teleport in. Whoops. Clear that. Play. All right, I don't know what Mike Young is doing in the... He should not be... He should be in the river right now. He should not be on the minions. Bjergsen should have been clearing those. And this is a fine fight. So this is the kind of fight that TSM want. They want this comp to kind of come into them. They want Gnar to be angry and the Taric ult to come at the same time, and then they just go whoop, 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 and they back up. Or they... Oh. You know, they lean their chairs back, PewDiePie style, woohoo, and dodge everything. Then they come back up, and there's no more Gnar, angry Gnar, and there's no more Taric ult, and you know they can just kind of like use their range and their damage to poke. So this looks like fantastic positioning for TSM, just fantastic. Mike Young is here. He should probably stay like to the side here, and the team should kite back toward base. And Mike Young should like, I guess he doesn't have ulti now, so maybe he wants to stick with the team a little bit. Oh wait, no, it looks like he does have ulti. Do you think he has another charge, or do you think? Because I thought he used it to jump on the wave or something. Anyway, he still has flash, so he might be fine. Anyway, I don't know what FlyQuest is doing here. Like they should be pushing Baron into bot turret. I don't even know what they're doing topside. This is so confusing to me because Gnar already went topside. You know, he was at the turret catching. Kalista should be freaking bot right now. Azir should be mid with Taric, securing that wave and then rotating onto the dragon, onto the river with Zac, onto the bot river and the bot tower. There's a dragon coming up and there's a bot tower. So FlyQuest mystifies me. I don't even think... I mean, I think FlyQuest was okay 50-50 in the Baron because they have Kalista. That's fine. But I would have liked to see them zone the jungler out. Like, the jungler came in and made it a 50-50. That's just stupid. You should never do that in a competitive match. But, you know, some teams play fast and loose, and those teams usually are going to give away Barons to random chance. Okay, so Zac tries to engage. Everybody seems to be kiting fine. Look, Mike Young is kiting to the left. This is great. They're going after him. Okay, well, this is not so great now. Because his team just literally gave him up instead of going back on the backside. I don't know. I feel like they should have stayed in range and kept hitting the backside as Mike Young was trying to survive and run. They needed it. I think that they were trying to escape that fight and not take that fight. Seems to me they could have taken that fight. I don't think Baron gives a lot of fighting stats. This was a perfect fight to take because there's no objectives here. Like, what is FlyQuest going to do if they win? They didn't even have a minion wave, right? Okay, they're going to take this turret, right? But like, yeah, it's not like that they had a big wave crashing and it was all prepped and they were ready to win the game if they take that fight. Like, this is the kind of fight that you do because you have no idea why FlyQuest is fighting there, so it's a bad position for them. Okay, now FlyQuest looks like they get this tower, and in trade for it, they went straight to Drake. They give up tower for Drake. Okay, fine. Look, they all still have flash. I feel like they could have won that fight. if they just took it. Maybe they were scared that so much collapsing was being done, but then that was all of the abilities. Like they had Zach went in, ultied out, Tark ulti was down, Gnar was tired. Yeah, it was all done. Mike Young should have like kited around the big like land mass. Maybe that's a dangerous flash to try to make. All right, what's happening now? At this point, FlyQuest need to distribute themselves out on the map and get some sort of pressure and take bot turret. And TSM need to recover the tempo from trading Dragon for tower. So they're trading Dragon for tower, but that's equal tempo. And they don't have any waves pushed. So now they're just getting shoved in everywhere. They have nothing on the map. They can't go anywhere. FlyQuest is grouped up. You cannot, this part right here, okay? You cannot contest vision with TSM's comp. You can't have vision there and like fight them over it very well and contest that vision. You're going to lose. You also can't go on them when they have vision. So you need to, if you're TSM, you need to already have vision and you need to have them playing into you. So anytime that TSM trades tempo and goes even in tempo and doesn't have a set play where the opposing team is coming into them, this comp is not going to work very well. So for the next Baron, which is going to come in a few minutes, first of all, TSM needs to make sure that they need to treat their towers right now. If I'm TSM, you see you don't have any pressure or vision anywhere on the map. You need to treat your towers as your like holding space, right? So you want to be on your towers with this comp, forcing them to engage. Make sure you clear the wave, force them to engage on you in order to take the tower. Don't let them chunk it. And then once you have like a minute 30 to Baron, then you want to try to set up pressure with Hanser in the bot lane, with teleport, obviously, with maybe 1 or 2 ward covered, and you want to try to get pressure mid and top, which you should be able to get with Tahm Kench. You should be able to throw Bjergsen on top wave and have Mike Young and Kog'Maw around mid lane and be able to just go on Bjergsen and join him if they go on him, solo. And or keep pushing mid, or whatever. But anyway, I feel like they want to try to get some sort of modicum of Baron control, which I don't think they're that far down. I don't think they're that far down on gold right now. Let's see what the last set of plays net swing is. Since this Baron play was a 1,000 gold swing in FlyQuest's favor. So gold is literally still equal. It was a massive catch up in XP. So it was a 3,000 swing in XP because of the kills. Let's see the level disparities. 16 to 16, 14 to 14, 17 to 16, 15 to 14, 12 to 12. So TSM's fine in this game. They shouldn't be on the back foot right now. They need to not get engaged on, but they should be able to get some sort of lane pressure out of this. They didn't give up that much with this Baron. 1k gold, which is literally the value of the Baron, to be honest. And is Baron still 1k? I remember at one time Drake was 1k. I don't know what Baron is worth now. And 3k XP. $10 CS. That's how much they gave up. See, I don't know. FlyQuest does not seem that good. They got Baron, and that's all they were able to pull off of it. This is the horrible Baron deployment. Like, FlyQuest should have been able to do something more with that Baron than what they did, but they just randomly ran into top Tribush and engaged in a fight that TSM shouldn't have backed out of. They don't have a real advantage yet. Their real advantage is going to come later, as you will see. TSM, why you let them walk over you right now? Are you afraid to lose 0-2 this week and have pie on your face in front of all your fans? You should be playing for yourself, not for your fans. At this point, you should be like, I'm not going to we're not going to let them walk on me because I don't want to be walked on, not because I'm afraid of losing this game and playing it perfectly. That top Tribush fight. You guys, I really feel like you could have won it. I don't know. Somebody correct me. Somebody from TSM correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like that was pure chickening out. That was fear-driven response based on I don't know what. Lack of confidence in you and your team to crush them. Okay. By the way, it was the DPS, Bjergsen and Sven, that should have called to win that fight. All right, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. We got pressure, guys. All right. How did they even get this pressure? They just give up tempo? Subtract 30 seconds and play. Okay. I can't see the gold because of the stupid UI that Riot for some reason kept for like 7 years as the main UI for this game. So I can't really see how much gold they have. But anyway, they grouped as 5. This is a problem. This is a problem. Why is this comp grouped? You don't like you have a Tom Kench, so the best opportunity to break this game open is to catch people who are doing stupid stuff, right? And for that, you need to make sure that you have a distributed map. You need to be able to hold your mid wave like out from your turret and contest it, and then you need to be able to send somebody bot and send somebody top and find out where they are and go on them. If you condense together, your opponents will also condense together. Then you have a straight up inferior team fighting comp. One that can't engage and one that needs to kind of like kite well with the DPS in order to win. So what I would like to see here is that instead of grouping together to like contest this mid wave, that they are have Hanser bot at least. They still have a minute till Baron. He should be able to like catch waves here, and if there's nobody in vision, maybe even start pushing bot wave, but shouldn't be letting it crash. They should play safely here. They know that eventually like FlyQuest is going to need a reset. They can catch at their towers until they're sure that FlyQuest is not on the map, and they can test that by contesting midwave and seeing if FlyQuest contests or not. And then they can walk together as a 3-man unit or a 4-man unit into the river area once they have vision of other people on the map. Once they have vision of Gnar, basically. As long as they know where Gnar is, then they should be fine to contest for vision. And maybe even catch people out. I don't know. And then these wards. I would like to see Tom Kench wards. I want to see a ward right here because they might not get pressure again. So that's a ward that's going to give them alert them if they start Baron, but is not very often swept by blue side. I would like to see a ward here. I don't know if I can show it like here, because that's another good Tom Kench ward that they might not sweep if they just put a pink like in the pit and they don't sweep the river if they sweep this part. This is a good ward. I like this one. I like this one. I would like to see maybe one like over the ward wall in blue buff instead of in banana. This should be a pink. If you can hold this ward, it should be a pink, and you should hold it. If you can't hold this ward, don't bother putting a ward here, because all you get is information that they're coming to clear all your vision. Right, so put one here instead, and then at least you can see when somebody's clearing blue that you can go on them, or you can like go on people here because some idiot is like taking their blue buff. So that's what I would like to see, is more Tom Kench wards here. More recognition of like where they are in the game, and less warding like as if they're going to hold this vision somehow magically when they're just about to reset for more wards. They don't even get the pink ward out of the pit. And they lose control of mid to do it. And they never got to push out bot. So now they're just wandering back and forth as like an amoeba, basically. They're an amoeba. TS amoeba. Team solo amoeba. Team single cell organism. Team unicorns of love. Okay, here we go. Look at Monsters bot. We have a 4-man unit mid. They're holding the Wraith Bush. They're losing all of the wards in their jungle. Mithy is back with fresh wards. No. What? Hanser's coming. He's grouping. His teleport is almost up. He shouldn't be grouping right now. He's got 3 people resetting and he's walking to mid lane. Is he doing that to cover the mid lane for one wave? I feel like he should be taking advantage of the fact that his team is resetting and nothing is going to be happening to maybe clear one more wave, or maybe he can't see Gnar anywhere. I haven't seen Gnar in a while, so we don't know if he reset or what. But at the very least, he could, I don't know, check for vision around here. All right, maybe this is a good look, actually. I would not, if I was Hanser, I would not walk out to bot lane to this wave in a million years. They haven't seen Gnar in a while. He's got Frozen Mallet now. That's annoying. Yeah, I guess I would just walk straight to mid right now. So good moves are. Just, it sucks that now everybody has to reset. Like Mythy just reset, now 2 other people are resetting. Okay, but one of them canceled. So now it's just Sven went back. That was smart. They distributed the DPS so they didn't both disappear at the same time. Now Hanser's already mid. That's good. Okay, so yeah, Hanser knew his teleport timer, didn't he? It's like, I can't tell if it's up yet or not, but he's already here for the Baron, and his teleport was going to be close enough that it was risky. Alright, so they go in, and Hanser has flash. He should flash in, try to steal this. Mike Young should jump in, try to steal it, and they should... I don't know. What do you guys think? Should he try to steal the Baron now, or should he try to use his ulti to kill one-shot to Kalista? This is the worst position for TSM to be in. Like, literally, there's no way to win this fight. You can't go into an Azir Taric Kalista with this Tom Kench Kha'Zix comp and expect to do anything. So they lost when they gave up river control. I mean, they just, I don't know what they did in the last 5 minutes. Let's go back. But let's say this is where they lose the game. After this, let's just say they lost the game, okay? So let's figure out how they could have gotten Baron control. Or they either lost the game or they just have to straight up give up this Baron. Which I feel like if they have to give up this Baron, it's not the best composition in the first place. So there has to be a way for them to secure pressure here and take this Baron. Okay, Azir resets. Where are we on the deltas? Okay, the last tower was destroyed and they reset. Bjergsen should go top, Tom Kent should go mid. Okay, here Bjergsen was going top and he stopped. What happened here? We should find out. Why did Bjergsen not go top? Is it because Azir disappeared? Or is it because something showed up somewhere else? Right now is the time when they need to get pressure. Baron's in a minute 30. They need to already be reset. And they need to be pushing waves. And I think the communication was, hey, let's group and go into river. And get vision. Maybe Mythy called it. Maybe Sven called it. Somebody said, come. Now we have to get vision. So look, their grouping is 5 to enter. I would like to see them contest this wave and then enter, which I think is what they do. Look, Bjergsen, this wave is going and it's going to meet here, so we're Gucci on that. So, okay, Bjergsen left top lane, great. We don't have pressure, but at least it's neutral. So, okay, good move. Hanser doesn't have teleport, so he's grouped. He needs to go in now so he can go back bot. Okay, so they go in. They contest mid wave. Look, Mythy walked right up, so he must have known. He must have called the group. Hanser cannot go bot without TP matching, so he has to walk here. They go in, they contest. Now Hanser should already be heading back. They give up right now. They should put sneaky wards. Hanser should have immediately started recalling and gone to catch bot turret. And Kog'Maw and maybe Bjergsen should have immediately walked around and tried to catch midwave a little more aggressively. And maybe Mike Young. Okay, this is really smart from FlyQuest. They see what TSM's doing, so they go full on bot wave. TSM walks safely around to catch it, and then they go back. I don't know, guys. FlyQuest plays this really well. They are preventing TSM from getting any sort of pressure on the map here. As soon as TSM tried to secure pressure in mid, they went straight to bot turret, and as soon as TSM rotated to defend that, maybe they should have given up bot. They should have straight up given up bot turret in exchange for top wave and mid wave. Tempo. Because they just are behind on tempo, and then as soon as they're behind on tempo, they lose. Like, their comp doesn't win. So they probably should have let Hanser try to safely clear bot wave and hold it at the inhibitor and maybe lose bot turret in exchange for mid lane pressure and top lane pressure and the ability to secure Baron and make sure that people had to walk into it. Because now his teleport's up. If they just kept that Baron vision, they could have had it. So I think that's the call that I would make, guys. When reviewing this game, that was their chance. Or they just give over Baron and they wait like until here when Baron is up and they make another go at it. So here's like Baron and then all of the stuff they get from Baron, and then bam, Baron is gone. 37 minutes. Yeah. TSM didn't play too bad in the beginning part of the game. There was that dragon fight where they gave up priority, and that kind of like lost them that. And then there was the that rotation by Hanser, and then that random walking into Baron area by Mithy and Sven when Mike Young was on bot side when he should have been on top and grouped with them to walk in. So I don't know if that's a Mithy mistake or a Mike Young mistake. What do you guys think? Mithy walked in, but he should have been walking in, but Mike Young should have been there, but he wasn't. But then Mithy shouldn't have walked in if Mike Young wasn't there, but then he needed to walk in because that's what the play needed to be in the first place. Okay, they hold, they defend the inhibs. Stuff happens. They trade Elder for Baron because they recognize that they can't hold Baron pressure, and because they have a 5k deficit, and then they can't walk in on it, obviously, because they don't have the right comp, and so they just trade. Now they have a 2-minute Elder where they can fight. So FlyQuest basically wants to wait 2 minutes for this Elder to wear off. This was their big chance to engage. Like, TSM should have probably TP flanked them here. It was their one chance to TP flank them and engage them. Would have been really good if Kazakhs walked around and Hanser TP'd right behind them on that, and then just like pinched them. And they had Elder Drake, and that was their other big chance to win. Let me back up, guys, so you can see that. When I was analyzing this game, it seemed to me that this was a make or break point. Remember, TSM has a comp that can't engage very well, so basically TP flanks are the only thing that could happen, like walking TP flanks. So here, they recognize they can't contest the Baron. They push them off of it a little. Like, Hanser's a little too close for comfort there. They push them off a little. Gnar, for some reason, blast coned the wrong way just now. Like a dingbat. Oh, he went to get the wave. Okay. Why? There's nothing there. Like, a couple minions. If he's actually going to stay and pressure the inhibitor, cool. Okay, so now FlyQuest sees them go for Drake with the Callista Ghost, and they immediately go Baron. And they trade for Drake. And now here they should engage on them. FlyQuest put themselves right here pinched between the DPS, and what they should do is Hanser. Oh, Hanser's thinking about it. Look, Hanser's thinking about it. Look, he canceled his back. He's like, oh, and he canceled his back to look for a TP. He's like, I can TP here. I can TP here. And if he TP's behind, and if Kazakhs comes out through the base gate, this is their big chance to get a fight on their terms, right? If he TP's here, and Kazakhs goes out the base gate and is like throwing those slowy spikes at them the whole way that they're chasing down the thing, and like Pouncer can basically go this way and cut them off, or like cut them off in the jungle. Like, they can't kill him very easily. I mean, Azir and Callista can, right? But Azir and Callista, if they engage with him, like, he can take their health really low, and then he can just like futz with them while we're killing their tanks, and they're killing our one tank, and we're killing like all their tanks. I don't know. Maybe it would work really well, maybe it wouldn't. But I think this is their chance. This is the only chance they have for a pincer. FlyQuest really exposed themselves here. This should have been a fight too, just like the try. Of course, it's easy in retrospect, but you got to have the guts to pull the trigger here. Hanser should be like, this is it. Fight, 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 fight. Like, don't let him off. Don't let him off. You have Drake. You want to fight him in the thing. We have a big wave crashing bot. One of them probably already backed. Like, you know, they have enhanced recall, so maybe one of them backs to the base, and you could kill 3 or 4 of them, and it's like an outnumbered fight. And yeah, that's what I would see there. So instead, Hanser waits and then backs safely, and they slowly bleed out for a loss. Here's the engage. Oops, sorry guys, I messed with the timeline. All right. FlyQuest is doing this well. They're not doing a 1-0-4 or like a 1-3-1 because of the Tahm Kench. So they're staying as a 4-1 and they're staying in adjacent lanes so that they can't get engaged onto the Tahm Kench. They never split up and made a mistake there. Then they try to do an engage here. TSM is doing this well. This is what it looks like with this comp when they try to get engaged, you know, and they can't. This is what it looks like when TSM's comp is playing correctly. Basically, like they can't engage into this comp when TSM is sitting on their own vision and they can kite well. Now look at the Kazakh. Look at that. Look at that. That's how it should work. Kazakh's going along the side, shooting spiked at them, slowing them 80% while they're being chased by like a Kog'Maw, Tahm Kench, and they can't re-engage because Tahm Kench will just eat whoever they're trying to kill. It's a pretty good condition. That's what it looks like when it should be happening. But you know, probably not at 45 minutes in the mid and hib. Be nice if that is not when it happened. All right, so TSM get a mid turret, get a little pressure, and what happens here? I'm gonna get rid of the deltas here. I think they just wait till the next Baron, straight up. Again, TSM need to get some sort of control of waves. All right, TPs are up, so TSM should be endeavoring to split the map here and giving Mithy a chance to go on somebody and get a solo kill. And Hanser needs to be able to push out the wave. They're trying to kill the jungler so he can't kill Baron. Now what? Now they're just going to straight up Baron. Look, they saw Mithy on the top. They saw Mithy on the top minions. Okay, Mithy's used up all his wards. He has no charges left of his wards. So he wants to base and fill his wards. They're going to try to kill the jungler. Okay. Now Mithy is running out with wards. He's got boots. The speed boots. Okay. Right now, FlyQuest is waiting for information on how they can do this Baron, where they can get pressure. Mithy's right here. He's invisible. And Gnar has shifted, so he cleared one wave and he shifted. Hanser has cleared that wave and he's shifting. So this is smart play from both top laners. They're doing it correctly. They're going to walk to the 5v5s. Maybe if TSM wants to make a risk, they leave Hanser bot to keep pushing and they tell him to TP into the fight. But that's a big risk considering they don't have any wards yet. That's more of an offensive play than a defensive play. But now I'm going to put this on half speed to show the decision making. So they're like, what do we do? What do we do? Okay, we're going to secure. They want to secure vision here, and they want to retake mid wave, and they want to push them back in. Then they want to back off to Baron again. They want to do the same thing they just did, FlyQuest. They push them in, back through here, start Baron before they can come in and invade. And TSM did the right thing. They contested the back. They fought the Zac all the way to here so that they can like push in on the Baron and clear this vision. They need to hold this Raptor bush, and FlyQuest need to hold it. Need to take it. TSM need to hold it. But now, look, they just caught sight of Mithy. Did you see what Onda did? Bam! Instant call Baron. They know Mithy's there, and Gnar just pinged the mid and said, look, they're here. He just pinged and saw the mid. They see the Kazakhs there. They're like, okay, we have a Azir ulti, and we have Kalista, so let's 50-50 it. They don't 50-50 it because TSM hasn't learned to try to steal Baron, but it should be a 50-50 because Hanser has flash. Unless he can kill it so fast that Hanser can't even flash into the pit from here. Let's see if he gets there in time. He's running. Mike Young should be behind the pit. Probably. Bjergsen should already be ulting. Yeah, Hanser's not even close to flashing in. They kill it so fast. Yeah, so good call from FlyQuest. As soon as they saw Mithy, they called Baron, but it looked like the ping was on mid lane, so it could have been as soon as Gnar saw Sven or Bjergsen. Could have been then instead. Whoa, what was that? What was that? Oh, okay, I see. He was trying to hit the Gnar. Okay, and that's game. Okay, TSM. You can do this, all right, guys? You got this. couple mistakes. Pretty good early game. It's clear what you've been working on. You've been working on the coordination of the the early game plays and tempo, and I think that if you have the FlyQuest has to have balls to play the way that they did. But it also helps that they have an engaged comp. It's easier to look good when you have an engaged comp. It's harder to look good when you have a kite through your own vision and always have control of the map because you have tempo comp. So you give up tempo, you give up control, you can't initiate team fights anymore. Darn. Now you have an uphill battle. So I understand why it looks so bad for you. I think there's a couple fights where you should have recognized that this is the moment. This was the make or break. And hopefully as you get more comfortable with your comp and your team, you will succeed in that. Sorry for such a long video, you guys. But it was fun. Hope you enjoyed it.